If you're thinking about starting a side hustle to earn a little extra cash, or be able to work from home, or to start to develop your entrepreneurial skills, then this video is for you. And it's the one I wish I had over a decade ago when I was first getting started in business. Because today I'm going to show you why the way that most people approach starting a side hustle and most of the advice out there is completely wrong, and why it just ends up wasting a ton of your time and money and energy. But more importantly, I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan that you can follow instead. A step-by-step plan that'll show you a better way to start a side hustle by treating your new side hustle like a real business right from the start. And when you do it this way, not only will your side hustle be able to provide you with a little extra cash right now, but you'll also be able to grow it to any point that you want, possibly even turning it into your full-time thing if that's what you want, or just leave it running passively on the side, spitting out a little bit of extra cash flow. So let me show you how it's done, starting with step 1 of the plan, which is to find and pick a niche and profitable business idea. One of the most important ingredients to success is finding and choosing the right business, model, or industry to get started with. Where most new entrepreneurs and side hustlers get confused and totally stuck though, is thinking that there's just one single perfect business for them and all they need to do is just go out there and find it. But that's not how it works. In reality, there are dozens, if not hundreds of different businesses and ideas that you could start and grow to a very healthy size. And to take even more pressure off, the business you start with is unlikely to be the one you stick with for the next 10 or 20 or 30 years. Things will change, so will you. This is why the only thing you really need to focus on here is just making the best and most educated decision that you possibly can. But once that's done, the real secret to success is just diving in and getting started. And while new trends and opportunities are going to come and go every week, every month, and every year, the best business and the most opportunity and the one that's best suited for you can be found at the overlap and intersection of 3 different areas: skills, interests, and market demand. So here's how to work that out now, starting with skills. The first thing to do here is make a list and write down all the things you're good at. These are your skills. They're things that you do for work, have done for work in the past, are things that you feel you do better than most people, and are also probably things that your friends and family ask you questions about. Next, write down a list of your interests and other passions or hobbies that you have. So what do you do for fun? What would you do if money wasn't an issue or concern? And what kinds of things did you used to enjoy doing as a kid? Then move on to the third and final list, which is market demand. It's here that you want to do a little bit of research to see what opportunities are available to you that are currently in demand in the market right now. In other words, what products or services could you offer that other people want? Not just things that you think they want, but things that they actually want and are willing to pay for. What books have been written on these subjects or in these areas, as books typically represent a decent volume or level of interest in a certain area? What courses or programs or YouTube channels are available on these subjects? After all, this also shows that people are out there trying to find solutions to their problems. And are there other businesses out there currently doing what you want to do? If so, this is a really good sign, as competition, especially in the early days, is a good indicator that other people are out there solving the problems that you want to solve and making money doing it. Now, if you already have an idea for your business or side hustle, or maybe you've started one already, it's still a good idea to go back and go through this exercise to make sure that the thing that you've chosen actually checks all of the boxes of skills and interests and market demand. I seriously can't even begin to tell you just how incredibly important doing this simple step is for the success and long-term profitability of your business. This is because I know personally firsthand how incredibly exciting and intoxicating a new side hustle idea or business venture opportunity seems, and you think you've got just some crazy banger of an idea that's gonna go out there and rock the world. But there's a reason that most businesses fail. And a lot of that comes down to someone starting a business based on interests or passion alone, and failing to do the research to make sure there's actually sufficient market demand or the required skill set to back it up. Hey man, we're heading out to catch a movie. You coming with?
Not tonight, my friend. I'm working on my side hustle.
Your side hustle?
That's right. I'm getting tired of the 9-to-5 grind, so I'm trying to find a way to make a little extra cash on the side. Side hustle style.
So what side hustle are you gonna do?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I think I've come across a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here to really change the world, make a whole lot of people happy, and make some good money doing it too.
Okay, so what is it?
I'm gonna start breeding goldfish.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you heard me right. Goldfish. Did you know that the market size of the zoos and aquarium industry is over $2.7 billion?
I did not know that.
I'm gonna be rich, bro.
If you still can't decide on an idea to get started with though for your side hustle, then the easiest solution to this of all is to just do whatever you're currently doing in your existing job, but to do it after work, on evenings and on weekends. Now, I appreciate this may not be your dream business. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee it's not your dream business. But that's okay, because it's going to allow you to just get out there and get started and start to accumulate and build up the necessary business and entrepreneurial skills that you're going to need to succeed. Okay, so once you've got an idea that checks all the boxes, well, it's time to move on to the next step of the plan, which is start. The hardest part of any new business or side hustle is getting your first few paying clients or customers. It's the old, you need experience to get a job, but you need a job to get experience paradigm. So what do? Well, you do the one thing that has somehow become the new villain in the world of business. You work for free, or very cheap, and you like it. Not because you're not worth more, I know you're awesome, but because your goal at this stage is to rapidly accumulate proof. Proof of concept that you have something that people want, and proof that you're good at what you do, which you can collect by asking for testimonials and creating case studies and getting referrals. In the early stages of any new business or startup or side hustle, whatever, it's all about doing those unscalable activities, the things that take time, personal connection, and, as cliche as it sounds, going that extra mile. We call these activities unscalable activities because you can't do them forever as your business continues to grow. But doing everything you can to really over-deliver here and essentially provide an amazing customer experience is really gonna pay off. And if you can get that right, the rest of the business stuff is comparatively easy. I mean, things like accepting payments, which are simple to set up using online software like Stripe or PayPal, building a website, which you can do for completely free using software like HubSpot, and they even give you free hosting as well. This video is not sponsored, but I'll put a link in the descriptions below for you to check that out. And you probably already have a cell phone and an email address, so technically you could just use those to get started. That said, it is my strong recommendation that you get a custom domain name and website URL address. So you're not sending emails from something at gmail.com or something at outlook.com, especially if you're still using your old email address from high school. Yeah, that's right. I see you fluffypants42 at gmail.com. Then once you've got a few customers or clients or sales under your belt, it's time to move on to the next step and really start blowing this thing up. In a good way, not like blowing it up and destroying it, but like growing it. Anyway, let's do that together now. Okay, this is the part of the process that separates the side hustle that maybe makes a couple $100s a month and the one that you can turn into a 6 or even 7-figure business. This is because it's here that you're going to start really treating this like an actual business with goals, operations, systems, and the most important thing of all, marketing, which is the art and science of communicating your business's value, getting attention, and turning that attention into customers and sales. Now, here's the deal. Marketing is the single most important element to business success. After all, it doesn't matter how good you or your business is if nobody knows about it. But as fun and amazing and profitable as marketing truly is, it's also a pretty decently big topic. So rather than dive into all of the specifics here, I'll put a link to a playlist below in the descriptions, which will be a great place to get started if you're new to this whole marketing thing. And for now, I'll go over some of the most important and tactical things you need to do to grow your new business. First, you've got to take a look at your offer, which is the product or service that you're selling and how you're packaging and presenting it to your customers. My advice here is to try to keep things as tight and as focused as possible. You are much better off trying to do one thing incredibly well than spreading yourself way too thin, trying to offer 10 different things to 10 different people at 10 different times and 10 different places. That said, you can come up with say 1 to 3 different packages or price points around the main core thing that you do sell. This gives your customers options and it allows you to capture different people at different price points and with different budgets and needs. Next, as obvious as this is going to sound, an online presence is absolutely mandatory. A website is, of course, important, as this is where people are typically going to do research on you and find out a little more about your side hustle and about your business, but I've already discussed where you can get one for free. Again, not sponsored, but the link is below in the descriptions. So relevant social media platforms are the next things that you want to create. But here's the deal when it comes to social media and to social media marketing. You do not need to do everything and you do not need to be everywhere. You just need to be present and active on the 1 or 2 or maybe 3 different platforms that your ideal customers are active and present on, which is probably going to come down to some kind of combination of Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Again, you don't need to do them all, just pick the one or two that are the best fit for your customers and then start there. And if you're not sure what social media platforms your ideal customers are present and active on, well, one option is to just ask them. But another option, if you're in the very early stages and you're not even sure who you're going to be serving yet, is to just take a look at your competitors and take a look at their social media platforms and profiles and see which ones are getting the best results or the most engagement. Or of course, if you've got all the time in the world, you could just sign up for all of them, start posting randomly, and then see which ones work and which ones don't. Again, not my preferred strategy, but still an option. Final point on marketing here has to do with content and creating text and images and videos for the different networks. The secret here is that there really is no secret. So write, record, or talk about what you do as much as you can. Talk about your customers' pains and problems and how your business helps solve them. Share stories about the work you did and the impact it made. Create content that teaches your customers about your business or industry. And don't be afraid to give away your secrets. Seriously, as backwards as it sounds, the more you share and give away, the more that comes back to you. Okay, next step then is to capitalize on all of the new growth you're going to be experiencing by systemizing and automating things, which is really going to set you up to take this thing to the next level. It's at this point that your business is starting to get some real traction. You've got customers and sales, and there's proof that this could be a really good thing. Well, now it's time to start systemizing and automating things to get some of the more mundane and repetitive tasks off your plate and really start setting yourself up for success. And the first place to look and best place to get started is by taking a look at your typical day and starting to evaluate and identify all of the things that just chew up all of your time. Maybe it's posting on social media, maybe it's sending invoices, maybe it's bookkeeping, maybe it's answering emails. Whatever the case, there is a person or a piece of software out there that can help. For social media posting, maybe try something like Metricool that allows you to schedule and post everything on autopilot. Again, not sponsored, but I'll put the link in the descriptions below. There's also software called High Level that I use to automate most of my customer resource management and marketing. Now, this one's not free, but I feel it's worth the cost, so again, I'll link that up in the descriptions below too, and also not sponsored. For bookkeeping and invoices, well, maybe you hire a part-time bookkeeper or an accountant to help with all of that stuff. Personally, this was one of the very first hires that I made because bookkeeping and accounting have never really been my strong suit. And for answering emails or responding to frequently asked questions, well, now might be the time to kind of beef up and add a little bit of content to your website with more information on your products or services or offers, your business, you yourself, basically anything that's going to allow you to build up a sufficient pile of marketing resources that you can use again and again and again. The point here is that you want to start looking for things to automate or delegate in the following three areas. First, things that you don't like doing. Next, things that take up too much time. And third, things that you're just not that good at or things that other people could do better. Now, I appreciate talking about and actually implementing things like systems and operations and automations. Well, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, but the fact is it can be fun because it's going to make your business that much more sustainable and scalable and profitable. And those are all very fun words. Plus, once you get that done, it'll give you the option to do one of two very different things, which are going to be the right choice depending on your goals, your lifestyle, and what it is that you want to achieve. Option 1 is to sell it, and option 2 is to cash flow it. That's 2 thumbs up because they're both pretty good. So let me walk you through what both of those look like now. The first option is to sell your business, which the odds are good if you've built up revenue and cash flow and customers, you've got decent operations and systems. Well, someone's out there who's willing to take it off your hands in order to give you some money and free you up to do whatever it is you want to do next. That said, selling a business isn't necessarily easy or fast, and you may not get the price that you think it's worth. It's kind of like real estate, where there's buyers and sellers markets, and the right person needs to come along, or you need to work through the right broker. So if you're unable or unwilling to go through the negotiations and the process of actually selling your business, well, you do have another option. And that option is to cash flow it. See, if you've done a good job of systemizing and automating parts of the business, one of the options you have is to just keep on keeping on, allowing it to continue to generate revenue and cash and profits and have them injected directly into your bank account. Now, depending on your level of systems and operations and automations, there is going to be a spectrum of passive to active income. But if you've done a good job of everything we've talked about before, this can be some of the easiest money you'll ever make. Now, neither selling nor cash flowing your business is necessarily better than the other. Hence the 2 thumbs up. But there is one thing that you can do that is going to make you a lot more money, whether you choose to sell it or to cash flow it, and that's to focus on designing and implementing solid marketing strategies. So to help you do that, I've put together some of my top marketing strategies in this video right here. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in that video.